We're going to go through our top fives of the past month that have been released. I'm going to start off with this one that I was able to catch in Chicago, Ernest and Celestine, A Trip to Gibberitia. I don't know if you ever saw the first one, but it's this cute animation between what I think is like a bear and a mouse. I don't even know. They've had a couple already, and this is the newest one that is getting released. I want to say it's in limited theaters right now. I think they're really adorable. I remember the first one being on my radar because it was like one of the top animations rated on IMDb, and they've continued it. It's a really nice 2D hand-drawn animation. And for that, I would say keep this one on your radar. I'm not sure what the studio is for where it would come out when it's streaming, but I think that may be the easier way for people to catch it when it's out. When we left, there was a big series that came out, and I got to see inklings of it throughout. And while I have never seen or read the manga or the anime, One Piece is kind of fun, dude. I know there are people who have tattooed themselves, whose usernames are these characters. This is funny, bro. This is goofy. They have some Space Jam effects here because this guy can, like, bend around. It's about these pirates who are trying to go find this big treasure, and it's one of the biggest adaptations out there that already got a season 2. I know people were really up in arms on whether it was going to be good or not because, what is it, the Death Note wasn't that great.
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, still complaining about that one.
Yeah.
It seemed like this one pleased more fans than not. And as someone who's not a fan of it, I found it to be very enjoyable, very funny, very goofy. I'm not saying it's like perfect and it's going to get me to watch the anime, but it got me to watch this series, and I'm looking forward to season 2. I thought it was pretty funny, and I thought the characters were enjoyable to watch. So
yeah, we previously watched One Piece Red, and I think we both were kind of like, we don't get it. We're so far behind. So I guess this provides a nice on-ramp for people who don't have the time to necessarily catch up with all the anime. And I was avoiding it for the reasons that you mentioned. It seemed like people are out on the idea of Netflix adapting anime into live action, but was surprised, just like you, to see a lot of people kind of vibing with it so far. So yeah, I guess maybe I need to catch up.
So I'd have One Piece over on Netflix. Over on Mubi, a documentary that we had shouted out pretty much a year ago because we saw it at the New York Film Festival, and we sat there for what was, let me see, almost 2 hours, sitting there, squirming in our seats for what is a dissection of the human body. It goes through several procedures using these tiny, tiny cameras that are going through vessels. They're going into eyeballs, penises, everything in this movie that I think it is a crucial watch at home because you will squirm. You can fast forward to certain things that you don't want to. I think there's one point that the movie makes that is insane, dealing with these two ladies who kind of like walk around a lot.
Yeah.
And while at first I felt like it really bogged the movie down and was like a little boring and repetitive, when you realize it's not just talking about the physical, that was kind of putting the camera outside to show you the mental of these two ladies who don't know where they're at, and how do you like kind of fix someone who's mentally not there, as it's intersplicing then going in through like intestines and they're cleaning it out. The footage in here is insane footage. You're going to see this kind of shared by people on Instagram or whatever who like putting those like disgusting things that causes you to stop. It's going to be coming from this movie. It gets some of the craziest shots out there. And I would definitely put it on your radar if you are interested in documentaries or if you're interested in just the grotesque or the human body. Fabric of the Human Body, or as originally titled De Humani Corporis Fabrica, is a standout documentary. And it's a movie.
It is fascinating at the very least, and I would find a really hard time recommending it for most people, but like if the idea of surgical footage intrigues you, then like the visuals in this film are just like unparalleled. But it's also really interesting because it contrasts these like really mind-altering kind of close-up views of the human body with like the mundane in the dialogue that's happening, because you're hearing nurses and doctors mostly complain about
their hours
and their pay and the difficulty of working, and it is simultaneously like a showcase of the wonders of modern science in a hospital, and like an indictment of the French medical industry and how overworked these people are.
But with that ending, it's like a mechanic shop, right? Where they're overworked, except it ain't cars, it's human bodies that they're going through, and you want them well rested. But this was a standout. Definitely want to give it a shout out now that it's streaming. Another little cute one over on Netflix is Love at First Sight. It's got my girl, so I had to give it a shout out. A cute movie that kind of uses Jamila as a Cupid, airline hostess, a bunch of other jobs, that gets these two to kind of like fall in love with each other after they run into each other at the airport, head over to London. They both got different backstories, but it kind of brings them together. And I thought it was pretty honest in a lot of its dialogue as well. And then to wrap it up, if you did want to go to theaters, Dumb Money, which we reviewed right now, decent enough that I'd give it, that $5 Tuesday recommendation, because it got a pretty solid cast and an interesting story that we're going to see a lot of. What
Absolutely.
about you, Zach?
Well, my pick for theaters is going to be out wider this weekend. I think there is a screening tonight, though, in some locations. Stop Making Sense, the 4K restoration, I believe, of the Jonathan Demme classic, widely considered to be one of, if not the best concert film. This movie that documents a Talking Heads show from 1983, features, some really stunning cinematography and editing, particularly the kinetic feel of the editing is so, like, I think really accentuates the songs in a really strong way. We were talking before the stream that Talking Heads are one of those bands where, like, you might not remember all the songs they've done, but you hear them perform, or you hear it, and it's like, oh right, that's them. Like, they have so many classics, and to see them at their height here, directed by one of the great directors at depicting music, right? Like, Jonathan Demme was so talented at incorporating this in music in his films generally. He also has done the concert film a couple times in his career, but this is definitely the one that he's most widely known for. I've never had the chance to see it on the big screen, so I'm absolutely going to be in theaters to watch Stop Making Sense.
But you've seen this one?
Yeah. It was on Prime a little while ago. I don't know if it is right now.
So you recommend it, though, making it out for the IMAX? Okay.
Yeah. For sure. If you do want to stay home and watch something on Prime, Guy Ritchie's The Covenant is now available, or soon available. It is a pretty solid war film starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim, who I thought was really, really excellent. Just the two of them bring so much pathos and like drama in their like story of this unlikely friendship, I guess you could call it. It's just got a real like warmth to it underneath the sort of like combat. So it's a little bit badass, but also like kind of hard. I don't know, like inspiring in a weird way. I don't normally like feel that way about military films, but this one,
camaraderie between the two of them.
Yeah, exactly. The camaraderie is just really solid here, and Jake Gyllenhaal is always solid. Guy Ritchie, I think, knows his way around an action sequence. I think it's a solid watch. I'm definitely excited for my dad to get a chance to watch this because it's his kind of movie.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Over on Hulu, they've got Sanctuary, speaking of two-handers, a film that I caught at TIFF last year. I think Amanda said it was her favorite out of the festival, and I liked it quite a bit as well. A really fun back and forth between Margot Qualley and Christopher Abbott with snappy dialogue and kind of like a perverse premise that it goes with in this movie about a hotel heir and his dominatrix. I think Margot Qualley in particular is just so dynamic in this movie. It's one of my favorite performances of the year. I hope it's the kind of movie.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's technically last year or this year, but she's so electric. You can't really take your eyes off of her in this film. I think the film sort of ends just as it felt like it was getting going to me. But
yes.
I'd also rather a film feel too short than too long. So I enjoyed Sanctuary quite a bit.
Amanda saw this one at Cannes. She had covered it with us back in 2020
last year. Yeah,
she caught it at Cannes.
I don't think it was a Cannes movie.
Didn't she come into it saying that it was her favorite from that?
No,
Amanda,
I think
she made a video for it
yeah.
recently, so if you do end up catching it on Hulu, she's got a whole breakdown of it because I know it was one of her favorites, so you can double it up there.
Yeah, definitely recommend Sanctuary. Golda hits VOD.
You saw this?
I have not seen it, and I'm just curious about the makeup because we're all talking a lot about Bradley Cooper's nose right now, and no one is talking about Helen Mirren's.
Because ain't nobody seeing this movie, bro. Do you have a link? We both let it expire.
Yeah, I am fairly curious because Helen Mirren's a good actress. I have not heard great things about this one, but you know, it is the anniversary of Yom Kippur this weekend, so
So start while you watch this. No popcorn.
my last pick, though, on VOD, the funniest movie of the year in my book. It is Bottoms, Emma Seligman and Rachel Sennett's throwback to Y2K horny teen comedies. I think this one is just so hilarious. I laughed my ass off both times that I saw this movie, and it's the kind of movie that I'll definitely catch again when I'm able to at home.
VOD already, damn.
Yeah.
Hulu, you saw that? Also got, which should be another recommendation over here.
Theater Camp.
Yeah, Theater Camp. Take the shortcut here, going to IO.
Yeah.
Theater Camp's on, right? Just go to her. You'll be able to go through every movie in 2023.
Yeah, TMNT's on VOD too. We go to chat about that.
5 Degrees. Yeah, dude. TMNT's coming to Paramount Plus in like a week, dude. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, Theater Camp would be another one to double up. Get a twofer with IO. But damn, bro, Bottoms already.
Yeah, I mean, it had a decent week or two in theaters, and I think it made its budget back, but not exactly like a behemoth.
That's good though.
Yeah. I mean, look, we need comedies in theaters, so hopefully they keep doing it. Hopefully they keep trying.
Yes, sir. So overall, if you are at home looking for some recommendations, we have a good animation with Ernest and Celestine, their newest one called A Trip to Giberecia. One Piece, which I was surprised how good it was. As a non-anime fan, might have me watching some of the other recommendations y'all always keep pitching us. Fabric of the Human Body over on Mubi, if you have the guts to watch it. Love at First Sight over on Netflix was a really cute rom-com, talking about rom-coms. And then Dumb Money out in theaters.
For me, also in theaters, I think you should check out Stop Making Sense, the re-release. Great concert film. Also would recommend, now that it's on Prime, Guy Ritchie's The Covenant.
Prime
really
is such a place for this.
It is really like a Prime ass movie.
Like, fits perfectly in there.
The horniest best time of the year is over on Hulu for Sanctuary. Dug that one with Margot Qualley and Christopher Abbott. Mild curiosity about Golda, mostly about Helen Mirren's makeup in Golda, but you know, it's Jewish holiday season. I gotta throw one out there.
The first Intercutie Patreon watch along, Golda.
And then my biggest recommendation of the week, now that it's going to be available on VOD, Bottoms, the funniest movie you'll see in 2023.
Bottoms at the top right there. Let us know your picks for what you're watching this week, what you're looking forward to, because we are in the depths of movie season.